Okay. I do see that people are still coming in, but I think I'm going to go ahead and start because there's so much to see and there's so much to talk about. We're really, really, really excited and welcome everyone. Really nice to see the interest this has generated, um, and really look forward to having your reactions and your comments at the end of this. I looked through the list of everyone who signed up, and I can see that all of you, from all your comments and all the things that you've asked or said, I believe that you are all here because you hold childhood
There we are.
as we do as very precious. Every child is a promise of possibility for themselves. They are a possibility from the eyes of their family. And to all of us who are their community, these are our citizens tomorrow, our neighbors, the people who will solve our problems. And so every child's childhood is ours to support. It's ours to enable just as much as it is the families. And we believe this really strongly. Play is a child's natural instinct and pushes them very pleasantly and wonderfully into testing the borders of their own capacity, their bodies. They learn about their senses. They test the corners of their minds, and it teaches them how the physical world, as well as how the social world works. But simply being a child doesn't guarantee you a childhood, not a true childhood. Circumstances like war, like poverty, like pandemics, like health, like disability, many things, including a poor understanding by the adults who surround you of what really enables children in childhood. This can cost a child a childhood by depriving them of this most wonderful of things, play, a chance to play. Because a chance to play is a chance to laugh, a chance to play is a chance to dream, it's a chance to create. It's a solid memory foundation that will help you when you're an adult. And if you're miserable, to be able to look back on a childhood of wonder, a childhood of laughter, this is something fantastic. Children with disabilities often lack adaptive materials to play and often lack inclusive materials that allow them to play just as other children do. And this sets them even further apart in their childhood. Every child given a chance will play. And at Chetna, we make it our business to create inclusive materials that will support imagination, that will support interaction, curiosity, and loads of laughter. We believe very strongly in kids having fun. So today we are really happy to share with you two of our creations. One is a kit that we created so that all children have a chance to create by themselves or with others, both of which are very precious gifts. And the second is for all those children who love stories, and especially it is for all our library members who have missed their access to our physical adaptive library books so much. We've been able to bring these ideas to reality because of partnership. We had a partnership with Bloom Library, and this has enabled us to construct our library into an online format that's truly meaningful for children with disabilities and their families. Kaivalya Tech and Deepa, who has always stood behind me and behind my ever impossible ask, has stood behind us again in this time where I can't tell you how many things she's had to deal with, and found a time and space to create the online platform for us. For the game, it is a much loved partner, Madras for Enterprises, As I've said, at Chetna, we focus a lot of our work on enabling childhood by enabling play. Madras for Enterprises complements us completely because they do exactly what we do for children, but they do it for adults. Adults who are disadvantaged, living in extreme poverty, or who have disabilities. And they do it by making life for an adult meaningful, by allowing them a way to earn, by allowing them a way to give back to their communities, their families, to be helpful, to create products that are valued or meaningful to people around them. We love working with Madras for Enterprises, and we'd invite you all to visit their shop, Ekagrata. It's in Arepuram in Chennai. They honor and give dignity to individuals through their work, and we really respect that. I want each of you to know this, that when you buy one Tarikalai game, one bag, you buy something really unique and meaningful and enabling for the child. And at the same time, you also support the artisans, the adult who produce them. Especially in this period of the pandemic, this was something really important for us to be able to offer back to this community in Chennai that has been so enormously supportive of all our crazy projects and all the things that we've ever wanted to do. We make the game available through Enability Foundation. They partner with us in another area of our interest, assistive technologies. You should have received a link for the registration, order registration from us a little earlier this evening. We can share it again in the chat box, or if anybody would like the link and has not received it, please contact us. Teresa, if you will give our email ID, we will send you the link. We know that the product may not be affordable to many people, and especially with all the surprises and the hardships that our current situation has thrown us into, we know that it may be even more difficult than normal. And so we've invited people to join us in supporting or subsidizing the products. So we do have limited products. We have 100 bags in this first round of creation, and we do have limited scholarships or sponsorships. When you click on our order form, you'll see that we give you many options. Please go ahead and do whatever feels right to you. To the extent possible, we'll absolutely try and meet your requirements. Enough. Tarikalai is a brainchild of Harini Aina. I know you're dying to see it. Harini has shared with us, she's been with us on several projects and several brainstormings. I can't share everything with you right now because I want to focus on this. She has spent with us many more hours of her life than she probably ever expected. But I'd like to invite her to share with us this game that we are so proud of. Go ahead, Harini.
Thank you, Namita. Yeah, like Namita said, I'm sure everyone is really excited to see the game. So we thought we'd start off by showing you a little video of what's in the bag and how some kids that we gave the game to interacted with it. So I'm just going to share that now.
Tarikalai gives children the freedom to experiment with visual and tactile creations. The magnets allow children to use vertical spaces like the refrigerator or an old cupboard to play alone or collaboratively with others in the family. Arranging and rearranging these unique shapes helps open their minds to how one shape can represent many things. The feet of an animal can become the crown of a prince. Arranged within a frame, children can create textured landscapes, awakening different ways of perceiving and enjoying the world.
Okay, you assemble it. Then we put the flag there. We use this for the leaf. For the other side of the leaf, we use this moon. For
Is
the
this the
sky,
sky? Okay.
we put a moon here. Then for the clouds, we put this here. And a little rabbit's home next to.
Tell us, what have you created? Okay, what's that? It's a chain, okay. What's all that? It's a pillow that we okay. Eat in the beach. What animal is that in the beach? Starts with T? Huh? Turtle. It looks like a turtle. What is this like? Now, what does this look like? No, it's an initial action. Walking. Mount. So cute. Mountain. So she's showing trekking.
Next thing from the bag is also short, and it looks like a Z, and it feels like a Z, and the edges are very, very sharp.
What do you think it can be made of?
It can be made out of leather.
Okay, next one.
The bag is also like a pouch with some
Louder.
seeds, I think, inside. It's too close to leather, but it's made out of cloth only, and it's done with by needlework, and it's very, very soft.
Okay, so that is a little sneak peek at what is inside the bag. And I really want to talk about the design of it and actually really why we, how we came up with it and why we came up with it. So the core idea is really to open up opportunities for creation, for imagination, and for symbolic expression, which for kids with motor impairment and vision impairment, those opportunities are really limited. So, and also we grow up in a world where there are very stereotypical representations of the world around us. Rarely do we get to use senses like tactile sense to explore the world. For example, if I showed you a shape like this, you might say that it could be a moon or the wheel of a car based on the fact that it's circular. But a child would feel this and feel the texture and feel the shape of it and say that it's a pouch or a pillow or something else, just something that we couldn't even imagine. So yeah, the idea is really a child, irrespective of their ability, they're going to have so much fun and create so much with this set. So we really wanted to create this set to allow that freedom for kids. And very early on, actually, we've been talking about creating a lot of inclusive games and activities for kids. And one of the first ideas was to create, from Namita, was to create things with cloth, and really using cloth and the textures and possibilities available with cloth to create tactile games. So that's really where it started. And also filling the shapes and making them 3D, that's another element of tactility that this game lends itself to. And the games, I'm gonna just show you the game and how it opens up. Right, so what we have is this bag with all the shapes in it, and it comes with a mat that you can open up. And these are typically for like vertical surfaces, so you can place it on a fridge, on a cupboard, on anything metallic really. And this is the bag and all the shapes that come in it. There are 15 shapes, and they're all just irregular, some geometric, some organic shapes. We have this long fellow. And it comes with a little instruction sheet as well. And yeah, so all the pieces are hand stitched completely. It's totally eco-friendly because as Namita was talking about, Madras for Enterprises, they use just scraps of cloth. So these are completely upcycled as well. And these are not only great advantages for the environment and, you know, the kind of, but also for, it lends itself really well to the play as well, because usually you find magnetic shapes like this made out of plastic. And first of all, plastic is really horrible. And also those shapes tend to be very rigid and stiff and kind of difficult to work with. So kids who have limited motor function, these pieces are really easy to grasp and to pick up and to move around. And these are also completely washable in that sense. So the magnet is really embedded inside it so that it can't be pulled out or anything. So that's a little bit about the shapes design. And the magnet is a really important aspect of the design because it separates it from other stuffed cloth toys, because with pieces like this, you can pick them up and place them exactly where you want, and they're gonna stay in place and they're not gonna move around. So that's really good for kids who have visual impairment and motor impairment, because the placement is really important, and the fact that it can stay in one place and not be disturbed. And the magnet also means that you can slide it around and arrange it however you want. And again, this is really good for children who have motor issues. And these sort of, we imagine, like you saw in the video, the kids are going to be playing with it on huge surfaces. So those big arm movements, you know, reaching up, moving across the body, they're all great exercises that support posture and breathing and arm and hand skills. And like I said, we envision that this can be played anywhere on any surface. And in many low-income homes, they have now they have a surface for the kids to create something on. They have metal cupboards or a metal box for clothes or storage, or it could be a small fridge or a small table fan, anything really. So it's really exciting to think about the stories that they'll come up with based on the space that they play in, because like Namita said, anything can turn into play for kids. So, you know, we've designed this whole kit for them to play with, and we've designed the bag and the mat with certain functions in mind, like the bag is going to hold all the pieces and the mat is going to be the base for them to play on. But really, kids will use all parts of this to play, and the mat will turn into a bed sheet or a pillowcase or something. And so we're really excited to see also the possibilities of how space can play a role and become a part of the story. So the magnet also means, like I said, they can use vertical spaces like a fridge or a cupboard, and that means that you know, it's a more natural perspective for drawing and creating. Like, an artist would use an easel which is upright, because it's just naturally how we view the world. And also, these pieces allow kids to start creating long before they have developed fine finger skills. So before they have to be able to pick up a pen or a pencil to draw or write, they can, just slide these around and really use them really creatively. They're a great starting point for being able to create and combine and imagine and explore. And the last aspect, I guess, of the design is really the shapes themselves. So like I said, they're irregular and regular shapes. We've designed them with keeping in mind that they should be allow the child to think about anything. So this shape was a turtle to one kid, and it was a flower to another kid, and who knows what else. And combined with the other things, and the fact that they're in a range of fabrics and textures, which have all been carefully chosen specifically for this, it really, the color, shape, and texture give endless possibilities for kids to create things and to expand their ways of thinking and really seeing the world. So yeah, while we would love for the kids to just play with this however they want, we've also given a set of instructions. This can also be found online. So we would advise supervised play, simply because kids can really be rough with these things, and it's better to keep in mind that they don't, the magnets are not misused or go into the wrong place. And yeah, we really want to see what kids can come up with. Like you saw in the video, it's an opportunity to tell stories with this, to use these pieces as characters, and to connect these with maybe stories that they've heard or things that they come up with, and really bring everything together, to feel each piece and to observe the shapes. And also, so again, these meet a lot of the learning and development goals that we've kept in mind, which can be from creation to organization, spatial skills, social skills, early literacy, mathematics, vocabulary. It covers a lot of things. It ticks a lot of boxes, but really we want them to just play and have fun as well. And yeah, we want them to be able to describe this however many ways we can, and say that this shape is all these different things, and how many things can you come up with just this one shape, and how can you put them together to make like weird and wacky creations. And it's not just flat on the mat, because they're magnetic. You can put them together any way you want to. So that's really fantastic. And yeah, you can make a lot of activities out of this, and we really hope that this is something that they enjoy. And that's all from me. I will hand over back to Namita.
Okay, thank you. Please keep posting the questions that you have. We will continue to answer them on the chat box. People are asking if it's washable. Yes, it is. It was one of the first requirements that we create something, anything that we create, knowing that it's going to go, has to be. We've been amazed. The first bags arrived in Teresa, Haru, can you please keep answering on the chat? There are questions coming up. Okay. We just received, Chennai has been under a very tight lockdown for a long time, and it would open and then close, and then open and then close. And it's been so hard. And yet, I can't believe Kavita of Ekagrata and Madras for Enterprises. I don't know how she managed to pull this off. We've been after her saying, we had this design, we knew what we wanted. And the kids stuck at home, we had to do something. We wanted to send them something. That's really where it all began. So when it finally came, it was literally, I think we received it, what, on Monday or just like a few days ago. And we immediately took it out to children. And we thought we had played with it in every possible way, but no. Kids are amazing. And we've just seen that absolute capacity that they have, and the freedom that it gives them, that merging of being able to create, to be able to talk about what you create, to tell stuff. I love it. I love seeing the kids have this freedom, and I love to see what they've come up with. You'll see a little further down in the event, we had posted a competition where we had taken a photograph of one of the creations from one of the children and asked people to come up with titles. They came up with a lot of titles, but I still have to say that my most favorite is the one that he came up with himself. Every single thing that he created that day, I would say, oh, so did you do this? And no, his answer was in a completely different place. So it's already given us so much of joy. We really hope that all of you will help us spread the word. This is out there, and help kids have fun.
Namita, if I can just, pause for 1 second. I forgot one more thing to show you. But I just want to show you this as well. But we also have these beautifully stitched shapes at the bottom. So this is another tactile feature, and it allows the kids to, move from a 3D object to a 2D object. So to match what is the 2D outline, to feel that and to match it with the 3D object. And we also, in the instructions online, we've got printable sheets that you can print out, and it has all the outlines of the shapes. And if you go and see a YouTube video on how to create tactile graphics, you can make simple tactile outlines with Fevicol and play the same game wherever you are. So, sorry, just wanted to share that also.
Yeah. Well, please keep your questions coming, and we will keep answering them on the chat. But I do also, while I have you all here, want to share the second very great thing that we've been working on. We've always been passionate about early literacy, and we define literacy very broadly. We believe young children must have an experience of interacting with books in multiple ways, so that they can enjoy them. Certainly they can listen to them, they can interact with them, they can create with them, and they start to form an understanding and expand their understanding of what are symbols and what do they mean. This is hard, and we've been horrified to find a lot of our children with disabilities, as they reach middle school and higher school, to realize that their level of literacy is so unrelated to their intelligence, but strongly related to the experiences, the literacy experiences that they've been exposed to. So we have been working quite a bit in this area and trying to create ways to enable a stronger early literacy environment for children. And our big project is the project on creating the Adapted Books Library. These are physical books that are created and made available to children. Now, Chetna is a volunteer-driven organization, and our accessible reading materials, or ARM library as we call it, is a beautiful, beautiful example of a whole city and beyond coming together to solve a problem. It came into being because of the urging. I used to make a lot of the books myself and carry them around. But the idea of a library came into being because of two of our volunteers, Anu Alex and Arabi Badri, and because of the support we had from Little Sparks, which is a library here in Chennai. and because of the engagement of numerous volunteers, you have no idea how many, that has just been able to keep us creating impossible numbers of very fantastic books, each book a work of art. Over the last few years, one of our volunteers has stayed with us and put down pretty deep roots with us, growing the library way, way beyond our early dreams. Teresa Anthony has been, I would say, the heart and soul behind the ARM library that we have today, and is also a driving force behind its move online, constantly questioning every book that we try to make available online, and ensuring that we keep our integrity of purpose to be meaningful and enabling to children with disabilities, while still being fun for everybody. So I'd like to invite Teresa to share a view of this new project of ensuring that our library stays available to children, even if they must stay at home and we can't safely send materials to them. Go ahead, Teresa.
Thank you, Namita. So at the Accessible Reading Materials Library at Chetna, we develop storybooks for children who have print disabilities. Now, when we say print disabilities, we would be referring to anyone who does not have access to your everyday on-the-shelf books. What we do is we create accessible original storybooks, or we adapt stories to suit the needs of our members. This entails that all our books have large text, have contrasting images, have braille, and of course have tactile elements. However, as Namita said, with the ongoing pandemic, we were horrified. We weren't able to send our storybooks to our members, and this really upset us. Our books always sent out in lovely bags was just no longer possible. So it was with this thought that we knew we just had to do something. And that something was creating an online platform where all our members can access our storybooks anywhere and at any time. So all children learn by doing. So all children, not just those with a vision impairment, can benefit from including tactile elements in early reading. It's important for early reading materials to be both interactive and active. We knew from the beginning, from the very beginning when we spoke about making our books digital, that all our digital stories have to translate well in order to retain its purpose, which is to enhance the skill, reinforce a concept, build vocabulary, and be a source for leisure and fun. But this posed a big challenge. If you think of our stories, for those of you who know and have seen what we do, our stories are heavily based on, they're very hands-on storybooks. So if you take a book called Thottupara Poochie, for example, this story is all about textures and it's a completely hands-on story. This book is for early readers and it's not only about colorful bugs, but it's more about the exploration of textures and using these textures to increase vocabulary. Now you can see what we mean when we say that translating your physical book to a digital book posed a huge challenge, because how do you retain textures when it's visual and you cannot feel it? It's no longer tactile. So tactile elements and textures are in all our storybooks, and they give children an opportunity to develop and practice language that's related to texture. So books such as these, like Thottupara Poochie, which were translated to a digital platform, had to be rethought to retain the necessary goals and purpose. It is with this in mind that we came up with a way that we could offer additional resources for all our books. This is the unique feature of our library and our online library. We create these digital stories and make it accessible for all children. Now, Hadni, if you can share your screen with us, she's going to give us a little sneak peek into our library. In partnership with Bloom, we are developing accessible storybooks that can be read online through our website. You can browse through our wide selection of storybooks and click on the one you would like to read. The storybook you have chosen will now unlock, and you can use the arrows to flip the pages. All our stories come with these accessibility features. We have the audio read aloud feature, relevant picture descriptions, and all our stories come with large text and contrasting images. We will now demo how you can use the audio read aloud in 3 different ways.
Have you heard this nature thriller, The Case of Missing Mr. Caterpillar?
With a belly full and a sleepy head, he spun a silky cocoon for a bed.
With suggested games and activities, all our stories are complete with additional information on how you can use these stories with your children. Each book comes along with additional resources that you can access through our website. With beautiful illustrations and large text, these resources include a print-ready file for every book. Imagine that! You can read your book online and have a physical copy too. What if you want to tactile your images? Well, we have videos that can walk you through the tactile overlay for every page. We go over tips and tricks on creating these tactile graphics and guide you through the process. Taking this experience beyond stories, each book is linked to videos on our YouTube channel, where we share activities, games, and suggested material to make this experience fun and enjoyable for your child. Okay, so that is what our library looks like, and soon you all will be able to go over to our website and look at all our cool books and read it. So I come from a background in visual arts, and being a visual learner myself, I tend to look at the world with my eyes. While I began working at Chetana, I realized that what appealed to me visually and what I drew and illustrated, however cute and colorful, it was just not accessible to the members of our library. I had to relearn and rethink my approach towards illustration to meet the needs of children who access stories differently. This is my everyday challenge. Every book poses a new challenge, and this is what is super exciting as an artist or as an illustrator, when you get to do something different every single day and see the change it's making in the world. It's just wonderful. So this is where I ask all of you, if you're an illustrator, an author, an editor, to do the same. So together, let's form a team and let's populate our online library so all children have access to fun, imaginative, and creative storybooks. So over to you, Namita.
Thanks, Trees. I can see, yes, we will share the link pretty soon. We have just one last step to complete before we can make the library available to everybody, and that is ensuring access. The library does offer a really phenomenal, and this is not our brilliance at all, but the brilliance of Bloom, the organization with whom we've partnered. It offers us something truly fantastic. It gives us the possibility to share really freely or in quite a limited manner. And of course, we've chosen to share very freely. anybody can download the book, anybody can use the book, and anyone can take the book and put it into their own language. Now, this is fantastic. It accepts, as long as you're using a Unicode font, if you're comfortable and can create a really good translation that is accessible to your children language-wise, please do go ahead and do it. And the only thing that we'd ask is if you could upload it back into Bloom, it becomes available to that many more children. If you link to our website, then it allows children and their families to access the other resources. Bloom itself has a huge library and will allow you to download a PDF or a EPUB reader, etc. But what we realized was the illustrations, the speed of text, and the selection of stories, the connected activities that make it meaningful for our children were not available. So we've taken their platform into our website to allow us to link it to resources that are meaningful. So if you download a PDF from our website, it will be for children with low vision or children who have visual processing disorders, and not just a print version of something that's online. So in this way, we try, we share, all our books are available even if you go directly to their website. So a big shout out to all of you who have the capacity to work in your own languages. Please do go ahead and help us with translations. Any of you who are aspiring writers, please pop up. We are most happy to work with you to help you take what is already wonderful, because it's a story, but make it even more wonderful, which is make it relatable for children who have a range of disabilities. I see a hand up. Did you have a question? Just unmute yourself and go ahead.
Namita, hi.
Hi.
Yeah, Gayatri here. I think you couldn't make out with the GBK. Couple of things. One is that I think it's fantastic, the story. I thought that you had another course that you could run. One is that how do you do that story, reimagine and transform it. And I don't see it only for people with learning disabilities. I think there is a great opportunity for early childhood learning across the spectrum. And I think it's very important, there are people who, if a course is run, so think about that. Maybe Teresa can put together a team of volunteers and get this done. I also think that, sometimes all these things happen with conscious, deliberate effort. So if you were to do a course or, people, and you do a write shop for translation into others, then what happens is that it happens consciously and deliberately and not left to chance, right? Yeah. Over a period of time, if you do a couple of write shops, you don't have to take on the burden yourselves, but there are, people who will emerge, and that kind of a study circle then happens, or a write circle happens. So I think that's important to make happen. And the second thing I wanted to ask you, one of the answers you gave me, that how is this curated? For if it's just lying outside for users, very difficult to sort of say that this may be at this level. You said that you are doing that, but is it also sort of, if there are books that teach certain levels of learning, if that is curated also, right, and linked up, then it's so much more easier for users to take that on. I'm actually going to, once you give me the links, send it out to people who are very interested in early childhood learning, and I think perhaps apart from us, you should also, like, for example, Pratham, which teaches people and then there is a huge group which works with Anganwadi children. So I think these are fantastic things to make available to all of these people, and I'm going to be doing that. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Gayatri. Yes to many of the things that you've spoken about. It's very much on our wish list and on our plan. Our first sort of goal was to get adequate number of books up so that people could start accessing and using. We do have a way of organizing the different areas in a sequential order, but we don't want already to put it up. We'd rather right now just focus on getting more books up. It's an incredible amount of work. Each book takes us a lot of time and a lot of work. So, but it is something that we are working toward. And yes, absolutely running. We already run something called the Book Bills, where we call together groups of people who are strongly interested and we work together on book creation. It may be on illustration, it may be on writing, it may be on conceptualizing, but it would be smaller groups that, you know, by the end of that period, we generate a whole bunch of material that we can then continue to work on. So
yeah, I understand. See, have you looked at these freelance websites? Maybe Teresa would know, just to increase the number, not necessarily for training, like, you know, Fiverr.com or Beyonce or Elance or equivalent of inclusive websites. For example, I get a lot of my design work done from them, you know, and the speed, there's a whole world out there and which works at different time zones. Have these been part of your, you know, network and pool of talent seeking exercise? If not, I would suggest that, you know, that could be another source of resource for you.
I think our next agenda item is absolutely going to be get in touch with Gayatri. And just maybe help us think through a couple of resources and next steps that we could do together. We'll definitely get in touch with you, Gayatri, offline. Yeah? Okay. I know I promised we'll keep this within the hour, but there's one thing that I absolutely wanted to do. I think in our journey, in almost any product, we work across three verticals. We work across assistive technology, we work across early learning, and we work across vision. And in each of these verticals, Vidyasagar has been just a solid, absolute support. It's our go-to place for pretty much everything. I've invited Director Vidyasagar Radha Ramesh to join us as an organization that truly celebrates children and celebrates childhood and most certainly values play. I would like to invite Radha to share her perspective on why these products are so valuable for children with disabilities. And when she has concluded, I would like her to also officially sort of release this game out into the world by announcing the winner of our little Instagram competition. Radha, thank you.
Thank you, Namita. First of all, big congratulations to the entire team, Chetna, Namita, and then the demonstration done by Harini was really fabulous. And Teresa, yes, as always, it was so exciting to the way you described the storybook. Okay, first, it was very, very nice and many, many congratulations. After I saw the demonstration by Harini, I was thinking, let the world spin back 25 years. Gosh, I'll be able to use these creative games for my sons to build their vocabulary and creativity. That was my first thing which came to my mind. Yeah, see, the value of this type of games, leisure, I think there's no word, there's no replacement, no tool for the games, leisure, which is very important in the childhood. As a mother, okay, if you are any parent, if they have a child with disability, the first thing what they do is they do the doctor shopping, they look at the children, they work on the academic, they work on the therapy, they work on no, whatever possible way, but definitely the parents uh, forget about the child leisure time and the story time, or how to play with the child. That definitely doesn't happen. Even if parents think about it, okay, they when they go to the shops, they do not know what to buy. No, not only what to buy. Of course, there is a lot of limitation. There's nothing that the child can play, no accessible toys or games available. Suppose if the mother also thinks about the leisure, the child will be watching someone playing and then longing to participate. So that is the reality. But if I looked at this, of course, my special educator in me just popped up when I looked at this can be used in so many ways. Okay, if looking at the contour, with looking at the diagram, it can be used for it is therapeutic. It can be creative. You can use it for build the creativity, vocabulary, attention, whatnot. I can just go on telling this. I think this is the need of the hour. It is really a great initiative, Chetana and the team. Fantastic. That is what I would like to say. Yes, Namita. Now you would want me to talk about, say the winner. Somebody need to put a playlist or something. Can I have the script? Okay.
This was the picture that we had posted.
Okay.
The young man. Yeah. Veda, you can show both the photographs. Yeah. This was the picture that we had posted asking people to come up with titles.
Okay.
And the previous picture that she showed was the child who actually created it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So my Galactic Space Walk, yeah, by Minu Simon. I think he's the winner of the contest.
Can you share with us, Radha, a couple of the other titles?
The Hungry Monster Carrying Snacks.
Okay, this was the title that the child came up with himself. I asked him whether it was a train because it looked like a train and he was pulling it like a train. And he turned around and looked at me in complete horror at my stupidity. And he said, "It's a hungry monster." What? It's a hungry monster carrying snacks.
And I think this guy was fabulous. His creativity, the way he explored the toy, and his creativity was the vocabulary, the sentence, the phrases, everything was really worth appreciation, and he is the title winner of this contest.
Sorry, I just want to add in. I know that another title was very close to winning, probably a vote less, and that's the Tada game. I know that you are in the Zoom chat with us, so that was a brilliant title. Thank you.
We had some really nice entries. Radha, do you have the list, or please, Haru, do one of you have the list?
Yeah.
We had some very creative.
I think so. I have. Yeah. Some of the entries were My Couch on the Moon. That was one of the entries, and No Strings Attached. That was one of the entries, and Tetris Reloaded. That was one, and Tada Game. Then Chain Reaction. That was another. Then Sundry. That was one of the entry, and Motley one, and then this My Galactic Space Walk. These were the 8 entries which came in, and the winner entry is My Galactic Space Walk.
Okay, the winner actually leaves with, well, doesn't leave right now, but will get from us a free game. So I hope the winner likes to play.
Yeah.
Given that Minu Simon is a teacher in a primary school, I'm pretty sure she loves to play. Minu also, this seems to be a winning year for her. She also won the international the national competition that Chetna runs once in 2 years, creating tactile books for children with visual impairments. So this really seems to be your year, Minu. Congratulations. I know you're there and I don't know why you're hiding. With this, I'm going to, oh my goodness, she really is hiding. There you are. Can you spotlight her, somebody?
Thank you, Namita. Thank you.
Thank you for being such a sport and participating. You're so cool to be on Instagram. I'm still not on Instagram.
Thank you, Namita. So nice to work with Chetna and the team. Thanks a lot.
Sure. Okay, guys, that's it really from us. We will, all of you who registered for this meeting, who actually signed up using the link, you should have received an email that also gives you the order form. So if any of you would like this link and have not got it, if you can just message us on the chat group, you can message one of us, either Teresa, Harini, or me, you just privately with however it is you want us to contact you, maybe an email ID or a phone number, and we can send it to you on email or WhatsApp. Like I said before, there are only 100 sets. So if there are organizations or parents, we would absolutely, and you need more than just 1 or 2, please make sure you let us know so that we can try and meet everybody's need. Anyone has any last questions or comments? Anyone wants to say anything? Okay. All right. Okay, I think with that, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for the hour of your evening, and let's hope this leads to many hours for children, many hours of fun for many, many, many children. Thank you all. And